Hello and welcome, Minnesota Farah. We are genuinely very happy to have you with us for our daily coverage of the NFL news. Please subscribe to our channel to support our initiative as we bring to you the latest updates from the world of NFL on a daily basis. Now let's dive deep into our news stories.
This is your one-stop source for all the latest league happenings, so sit back, relax, and let's dive into the NFL drama. 1. Arizona Cardinals. First up, the Arizona Cardinals are making moves. They've signed cornerback Bobby Price to the active roster from the practice squad. It's all about building that roster depth. Now, let's move on to our next update. 2. Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons have an injury update for us. Linebacker T. Davis, dealing with a concussion, didn't participate in Thursday's practice. Injuries are never good news, but the Falcons are determined to push forward. Next up, 3. Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills are facing a blow as tight end Dawson Knox has been placed on injured reserve due to a wrist injury. But they're elevating wide receiver Andy Isabella and cornerback Josh Norman for the game day. It's all about adapting to the circumstances. Now, let's see what's happening in the Windy City. 4. Chicago Bears. In Chicago, quarterback Justin Fields is nursing a right thumb injury, keeping him out of Thursday's practice. However, running back Roscoe Johnson has fully recovered from a concussion. The Bears' offensive line is also dealing with some injuries. It's a tough break for the Bears, but they're staying resilient. Onward to the next news. 5. Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers are navigating injuries as well. Running back Miles Sanders is back at full practice, which is a positive sign. However, wide receiver Laviska Shenault Jr. didn't participate due to an ankle issue. It's a mixed bag of updates for the Panthers. Let's keep this going. 6. Dallas Cowboys. In Dallas, offensive tackle Tyron Smith is limited in practice due to a neck issue. The Cowboys are hoping to have him ready for the upcoming game. The news from Big D is crucial as they continue their impressive season. Onward to Motown. 7. Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions fans, it's a bit of a concern as running back David Montgomery missed Thursday's practice with rib issues. Offensive lineman Halapulavati Vadai is limited, and several other players are dealing with injuries. The Lions are facing some tough challenges. Now, let's switch gears to Houston. 8. Houston Texans. Houston Texans wide receiver Tank Dell is back at full practice after a concussion, which is great news for the Texans. However, wide receiver Robert Woods and offensive tackle Titus Howard are limited in practice. The Texans are gearing up for their next challenge. Now, it's time for news from the heart of the Hoosier State. 9. Indianapolis Colts. Running back Zach Moss is dealing with an elbow and heel issue, but he's been limited in practice, showing some promise. Offensive tackle Braden Smith and cornerback Julius Brents are both listed as did not practice. The Colts are working hard to get their players back in shape. Let's keep the ball rolling. 10. Jacksonville Jaguars. In Jacksonville, quarterback Trevor Lawrence is limited in practice due to a knee concern. Wide receiver Zay Jones and offensive lineman Walker Little are also dealing with limitations. The Jaguars are focused on player well-being as they move forward. Now, let's head over to the Heartland. 11. Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs have good news as running back Jerick McKinnon is back at full practice after a groin issue. Wide receiver Justin Watson is also practicing in full. Kicker Harrison Butker is absent due to illness, but the Chiefs are optimistic about his return. It's all systems go in Kansas City. Now, let's hit the strip. 12. Las Vegas Raiders. In Las Vegas, the big news is quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo returning to practice after missing the last week with a back issue. Coach Josh McDaniels is hopeful that he'll be ready for Monday night's game against Detroit. The Raiders are crossing their fingers for Garoppolo's return. Now, let's switch gears to Los Angeles. 13. Los Angeles Chargers. The Los Angeles Chargers have news on wide receiver Mike Williams. He underwent successful knee surgery and is expected to be ready for next season's training camp. That's a sigh of relief for Chargers fans. Now, we're taking our talents to South Beach. 14. Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins have several players dealing with injuries. Running back Raheem Mostert is limited in practice, and wide receiver Tyreek Hill is expected to play despite a hip injury. The Dolphins secondary is also dealing with several limitations. They're committed to maintaining their momentum. Now, we head to Foxborough. 15. New England Patriots. In New England, tight end Hunter Henry is limited in practice, but the big news is the signing of wide receiver Jalen Reagor to the active roster from the practice squad. The Patriots are making moves to bolster their lineup. Now, let's see what's brewing in the Big Apple. And there you have it, a whirlwind tour through the latest NFL updates. Stay tuned for daily updates. Please consider subscribing.